Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to episode number 18 of Playing with House Money on the Toilets to Titles Network. I'm Ice. You can find me on Twitter at Iceman_1013. And this is my co-host, DJ Pru at PruBaby10. How are you doing today, bro? I see you over there covering up the hat.
I'd bring a paper bag if I could. I'm doing good. I'll let you know, though, the Bears did pay for this hat unknowingly, so I do appreciate them. We won't go too far into that game because we won't go too far into that game today. Keep it real. The people probably won't like what I would say anyway. They'll probably think I'm crazy, but for everybody listening, I was at that game last Sunday, so I got this hat. I ordered the hat while I was there because, well, I'm a Bears fan, so I know that we were giving that up.
You ordered the hat at halftime when you were up, loving life.
Oh, no.
And then
I ordered that hat as I was walking out after I hit the Denver Broncos money line at plus 750. Because I'm in the crowd. We go up, and I'm like, I've seen this episode before. This is a rerun. I've seen this one before. You're not going to get me. Caught Denver at plus 750. I meant to do it when they were down 21, but at that time I was still kind of hyped. Amazing 3 quarters. And then, I've seen that episode before. So as soon as I saw them go down 14 early into the fourth, I was like, this ain't good. So, I bet the live plus 750. Smacked that. Ordered a hat in hopes that my proceeds will go to getting a coaching staff that knows what they're doing. To keep that as nice as I possibly could. But, it wasn't all, bear heartbreaks this weekend. We held it down. Shout out to you on the sweep for Thursday night. I'm glad I didn't go against it, too much besides the Amon-Ra St. Brown. And I didn't go against the touchdown. I just, I wanted the safer play. And then my safer version of it didn't even hit. So shout out to you for the sweep on that.
No, man, I just wish I'd played the bigger, minus 1.5 first half was, that was just easy. And then, I wish I'd played the minus 9.5 like I wanted to. But the minus 6.5, hey, we love it. And, hey, we were that Patrick Mahomes slide at the end of the Chiefs game away from sweeping the entire, I was from all of my NFL bets. The 49ers did what they had to do, and then was the Chiefs touchdown away from the 452 hitting on Sunday as well. But no, we can't complain. We went up Thursday, and hey, you picked some decent money lines. You had Miami, but your underdogs, like if you round robin the underdogs, you Ravens and the Rams.
Easy.
Yeah.
Well, the Rams made it hard at the end, but whole game was easy. And then shout out Puka, and then shout out Christian McCaffrey for getting me a couple wins. I actually lost a fantasy matchup with Christian McCaffrey in it, but then I beat Christian McCaffrey in another. It was just one of those weekends, but San Fran made that super easy. And like I said, I knew LA would have their way with that offense at least for most of the game. As they did, and then Anthony Richardson the kid especially, he's a special athlete to bring them back. But it was a solid weekend, man. And then of course the over for the Dallas New England game would have hit if New England wanted to play even just a 25% better game than they did. I was shocked, and I didn't even remember it. I didn't remember that I needed 43 until like Sunday night, because obviously I went to the game early Sunday, and then I was out. And I'm watching the game where I was, and I'm like, man, they are just killing them. The 2 defensive touchdowns killed them. And I'm like, okay, well, it's garbage time. And I didn't really remember the over until it kind of dawned on me. I'm like, wait a minute, it's at 41. I need 43. And I didn't even think about it until then. And I'm like, oh, damn, man. So that was tough. That one should have, I feel like that one should have been a lot easier. But solid weekend. I'm not mad at it. Miami definitely shocked me, but they got punched in the mouth as they needed to be. You score 70, you need to get humbled. And to be honest with you, I feel like those type of losses are usually they're worse for the players. Like usually the players get a lot angrier, or, more hungry at that point. But when you have a coach like Mike McDaniel, I don't know, I'd be scared for a lot of the league. Like, man, that guy's a mad scientist, dude. He messed around and go on a rampage now. So we had that. We also did a live bet for Monday night. Shout out to you on that as well for the find with Zach Charbonnet. He was at 21 rushing yards and 30 rushing and receiving, and the books gave us 36.5 and 26.5, and was able to save the night on that one. It was a good game. There was just a lot of penalties that called back, a lot of yardage. You had the Kenneth Walker run that got called back, which that actually didn't end up hurting too bad because DraftKings didn't offer 2+ touchdowns like in the same game parlay section. I know FanDuel did, so I'm sure a lot of people were a little upset about that. But DK Metcalf goes non-existent, goes ghost in the second half. So it was a weird game where a lot of the yardage lines could have hit a lot easier than they did, but penalties and that stuff happens. So you got to take that one on the chin. But yeah, Zach Charbonnet saved that one. I went a lot heavier than I probably should have. I went 3 units on the live bet for 5.5 just to kind of save my day. I did go heavy on Seattle last night. For everybody wondering, we are doing a recording on Tuesday afternoon or evening just to get ahead of the curve. But those went well. College football, we had the 4-leg that I placed in the Discord went perfectly on the first 2 legs, and then LSU decided to just completely ruin what we had going on. So I took Ole Miss money line live, saved that, and then it didn't really matter anyway because Notre Dame just tried to do everything they possibly could to give that game away. I could not believe what I saw after they were up 10-0. It's college, man. It's college, and some of these kids are almost too gifted to a point where coaching is everything and execution is not always going to be what you expect. But we got the Colorado over. The 2 easiest bets of my weekend were the Colorado team total. It was 24.5. Shout out to Shador Sanders for absolutely dragging them through that game. That first half was absolutely horrendous for him. I felt terrible for the kid. And then second quarter, he comes out, they score twice, and then they make it a game. I didn't expect it to be like, as close as it was, but he got us to 24.5 easily. And then Michigan team total, they gave us over 27.5. We hit that first half. We almost hit it first quarter. It was a mauling. They absolutely rampaged Nebraska. So those were the 2 easiest. Absolutely no sweat whatsoever. So that we finished out pretty well, and then as you guys will hear tomorrow on the SGC, I actually had I had 2 big wins from the soccer gurus themselves. So it was a very solid weekend for playing with house money as a whole.
Yes, sir. And with that, we move straight on to more solid money because we don't know the matchups yet because like Pru says, we're recording on Tuesday, but it is MLB playoff time.
Yes, sir. Wild card has kicked off. Texas went up 1-0 today, along with the Twins. We got 2 games in action tonight. We got 1 in action right now, 1 starting very shortly, but we don't really know. I don't want to misspeak and then have to put my foot in my mouth, but you go up 1-0 in the wild card, it really, really changes the feel of the series, especially for the players. And then some of these managers, you'll see managers in the MLB playoffs shoot themselves in the foot a lot. Like the managers that are poised really tend to make a big difference in this league. I mean, I know it sounds dumb because it sounds very obvious, but like managers that fully trust their lineups to a point where they're confident at any point in the game make or break these wild card matchups. So I do fully expect Milwaukee to give Arizona everything, everything to run for, to be honest with you. So I I think I know how this is going to shake out. I won't say how I think, but you guys can come and find out for yourselves. But we got Baltimore, the Orioles, the Dodgers, the Braves, and the Houston Astros awaiting opponents. Those four teams, especially right now, I don't see any of these teams in the wild card knocking them off. If it was, it would, probably be Texas. I know I might be a little biased on that for the season that they've given me, but they're just not who they were, a couple months ago. And Houston is just, honestly, I wouldn't doubt if they repeat. Like, they could go back to back and it wouldn't shock me at all. But obviously the Braves are, the media team right now. Shout out Ronald Acuna. That MVP is locked up. There's absolutely nobody that can take that from him. And they're just playing. I mean, they're just playing lights out. They have the pitching to go deep as well. But I like them in Houston. I'm going to have a lot of fun with these series this weekend, only because, like me and you talked about earlier, these ain't the Joe Schmoes no more, and we're not worried about lineups. Like, I'll know lineups. You're giving me your best 1 through 9. Everybody's playing for something. All these guys have a lot of pride. So I really do like these series. Obviously, with the playoffs, you might even see a couple K plays from me. I won't lie, which is very, very rare. But playoff series, man, you expect it to be like all the all-stars going off and, a lot of runs and stuff like that, but it's just never the case. You play a lot of small ball. Guys aren't just swinging for the fences. You want base hits, you want guys on base, stolen bases, yada, yada, yada. So we're going to have to pick our spots very precisely with the matchups that we see. We're going to focus on, what pitchers on the mound, what hand they throw with, the guys that have been playing well. That's going to be my biggest concern. I've been checking the last week, last 2 weeks, and last month on every guy that I like reads on, because we've gotten absolutely shafted with some of the guys that, we expect to be superstars at the time, and they're just not batting well right now. And you really have to take it at face value in the MLB. Like, if you're not seeing the ball well over the plate, man, you're not going to just flip that switch in a day, and then, you'll have a guy go, maybe 2 for 4, and then he picks it up after that. But you got to see that game first. So we're going to pick our spots really well, and I'm really excited for what this weekend brings.
Yes, sir. And like Pru says, like, because we don't know who those matchups are going to be, if you want to find out, follow us on Twitter. Follow Pru at PruBaby10. Follow me at Iceman_1013. Follow us at PW_HouseMoney. See what we're doing on Twitter. There'll be a lot of posts on there. Follow us on TikTok, on Instagram. Join the Discord. That's where you're going to get actually all of the plays. Hit either one of us up on the Twitter to find out how to join. Join while it's still $10 a month. It's just a stupid investment at $10. Like, crazy. You get you get all the different sports. You get the baseball playoffs. You get the American football. You get the college football. You get the soccer from the SGC. New episode tomorrow. Check that out. You get Brandon. He's in there. Liga MX guru.
Man.
So yeah, we're expanding. There are channels in there across all different sports, and hey, like $10 a month, join in and see what we've got going on. Find out where we're at toiletstotitles.com for all of the fantasy football stuff. You can jump into Gilded, lots of trade advice. We're a decent amount of the way through the season now, so lots of people on the fantasy there. You've got players coming back off IR. You've got 4 weeks of football to look at and go, hey, who's playing well, who's not, who should I drop, who am I picking up off the waiver wire? All of that discussion in the Gilded chat. Let us know if you want to join. If you're watching us on YouTube, please like and subscribe. Again, can't tell you how much great content there is coming out of the Toilets to Titles team right now. And then, yeah, like I said, if you want to just interact with anything about football, let us know. Jump in the Gilded. We'll get you in there. It's free to be in there. And yeah, like I said, just get in and interact. It's a great group of guys. There's 250 people in there, guys and girls, all discussing. So you get a huge amount of viewpoints in there. But yeah, jump in, see what we've got going on, and just let Pru guide you into the world of college football.
Yeah, I'm really happy with the start this year so far. Actually, I was a little on the fence about it. College football has always been, like as a scholar of the game, as a guy that really likes the details of the game. I've never been huge on betting college football, and then I started to realize, man, I know a few things. I know a few niches I could catch that have value, and the last couple of weeks have really shown that. I'm really excited to just keep that going, especially as the good matchups come up. So I mean, I've kind of taken your approach on the team totals a lot lately, because the books have just been so skewed to me, to be honest with you, and then sometimes they're spot on, don't get me wrong, but I really like the depth we've gotten so far, and we've made it through the first few weeks with winners. We've had a few winners, each week of the season so far. Obviously, like we say, we're betting on 18-year-olds. They'll screw you a couple times, but if the NIL keeps doing what they're doing, we'll be betting on 22-year-olds, and then I'll be a little bit more excited. But very good start to the season, and we got a couple good games this week. We got Oklahoma at Texas, which is just going to be, if you follow college football, that's the Red River rivalry. It runs very, very deep down south. Ice, I wouldn't expect you to know this, but people go to war about this rivalry, brother. Like it's crazy. So with both of them being very, very good, Oklahoma has a couple linebackers on that team that are just star-studded. And I think people are, a little premature on Texas. I won't lie to you. They are very good. Quinn Evers is very, very good. But it's one of those things where the pride comes into play a lot more with the rivalries. I wouldn't doubt Texas does pull it out. Very close game. I'm going to take the over. They have Texas at -6.5. Mm-hmm. I can't commit to that. I can't commit to that. I'll be real with you. Oklahoma's given up 320 yards on defense. Texas is only, they've given up 290, which is very, very good in 5 games, and so is 320. But so you're solid on both. You're sound on both sides, and I think Texas has the better offense. I might go Texas team total depending on what they give us. They have not updated. They gave us 6.5 points, but they won't update all of the lines yet. You'll have to come and join us in the Discord for that one, or the Gilded. I have thrown a couple of the college football stuff in the Gilded as well. But I'm leaning towards Texas team total. And then if the points total is like really, really high, like how they do with the USC games and whatnot, I might even flirt with the under a little bit. And then we got Georgia, Kentucky. I know that sounds weird. Kentucky has been very, very solid the last few years, and they've continued this year. And Georgia they're not making the adjustment since Stetson has left that quarterback room. But I still think that roster is just so deep with 5-star talent that you have to take them in almost every situation. I know college football is the upset. College football and college basketball are the upset sports of the world, and that's what keeps them exciting. But I just don't see Georgia giving it up to a fellow SEC team that is not Alabama. So I'm definitely going to be looking at the team total on that. I do want to say that they gave, when I was looking earlier, they gave like 11.5 points. I want to say it was to Georgia, and I don't agree with that. 14.5. I would not hate the Kentucky plus 14.5. I know I'll probably put my foot in my mouth when Georgia reminds me they're number 1 in the country and finally makes that statement. But I think that's a lot of points for a game that both teams want to run the ball. Both teams have a lot of pride to play for, being an SEC And like I said,
Yeah,
Georgia just hasn't been moving the ball that well.
no,
So
and I think that it's straight again. New to the game in terms of like college and when we look at these big, when you look at the point spread, when you've got the Oklahoma Texas game, the total is at 60. This total's at 48.5,
love
and
it.
they're giving you a plus 14.5. So the books are expecting 50 points, but for Georgia to win by 15. So
Right.
mathematically, if you're looking at that, then you're winning the game 32, 32-17 or something like that, and
Exactly.
that just gives you no room for error when if you're that's a huge spread for such a small total is what I would take out of that.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And neither of these defenses have given up 300 yards this year. For 5 weeks in. So that's, don't get me wrong, I won't go through all 5 games that these teams have played. They're not, they're not blue blood, but that's still incredibly hard to do in college football when everything is so fast paced. Like in the NFL, you'll see you can run the clock out. Like what did Philly ran out? What 10 minutes of clock in the fourth quarter a couple weeks ago? You're not going to see that in college football. It's just not happening.
Yeah.
You're doing a no huddle. You're getting so many series that if you're not giving up that many yards in 5 weeks, that's you have a very sound defense. It's just going to be how does that Kentucky roster line up in the trenches against Georgia. I think that's going to be it's always the decision. It's always the deciding factor, and Georgia just happens to have NFL top 10 NFL D linemen and O linemen. Just they're making them in a workshop. So I really might mess around with that game as it comes out, like with the props and whatnot. But for now, I do like the Georgia team total. I like that over 48.5, though. I really like that. So I'd say, yeah, go that over 48.5. That's what I'll lean towards right now. And then we got the last game that I was really looking forward to, just because of what I saw last week, was Notre Dame Louisville. Louisville's been surprisingly a lot more sound than a lot of guys thought. They still don't have much of a chance in this game. I won't lie to you. I don't think Notre Dame's defense gives up, as many yards as what what Louisville's been seeing. But Louisville's been putting up just incredible points. They put up 56 against Boston College. They put up 39 against Georgia Tech, which, like I said, these teams aren't, they're not blue blood teams and whatnot, but you got Notre Dame has given up they gave up 24 to NC State. They gave up 17 to Central Michigan. So this game should be pretty close. You're talking about number 10 against number 25. Louisville's 5-0. Notre Dame's 5-1. And I think Notre Dame has a lot to prove, especially now after that Duke game. It should not have been that way after how that started, but they're giving Notre Dame minus 6.5. I'm probably going to stay away from that. I'd probably go with Louisville plus 6.5 right now, to be honest with you. Notre Dame's offense, it looked good the first couple weeks, and then the last 2 weeks, just I can't get on board with them just to blow them out of the water, especially with how sound Louisville's been playing. They want to stay undefeated, make a name for themselves. I like that 6.5 points. So those are my 3. Those are my main 3 that I'm really paying attention to.
Sounds good, bro. Sounds good. And with that, we move on to tonight's action. And you said you didn't want to talk about them, but they play on prime time again tonight. So
the toilet bowl.
Yeah,
it's the toilet bowl.
That's very unfair on the Commanders, I feel.
No, it's not. It's not. Shout out Riverboat Ron. Shout out Riverboat Ron. Hey. The Commanders are going to win this game. Because their defense is sound. That's going to be they're going to win this game because their defense, for sure. What the Bears are doing is Justin Fields. It needs to be investigated, and they need to be sanctioned. And That's all I'm going to say on that. You got a guy that goes 3 quarters, 23 for 24, 300 yards, 4 tutties, and we say, hey, you know what? Why don't we just run the ball for 15 minutes and lose this game no matter how? No matter how we have to, let's lose this game. It's a fireable offense. If they lose to Washington tonight and Eberflus needs a realtor, I will get him, Getsy. I'll even help Alan Williams with his legal fees. Get the hell out of Chicago. We don't want you here anymore. And I'm tired of hearing about Caleb Williams because even he couldn't drag them out of this hell. But with that being said, yes, I'm going under. I just don't know what to expect from either of these offenses. I like Brian Robinson rushing. Terry McLaurin finally made an appearance last week, so that was nice. So maybe he continues to go off. We have no Jalen Johnson, no Eddie Jackson. So 2 starting DBs out for Chicago with Jahan Dotson and Terry McLaurin, and very fast, very good route runners. I would probably stick to Chicago unders, to be honest with you.
But it's funny you say that because of the way that they played or because of the result, their player props that they've got out right now. And again, we're recording this on Tuesday, talking about Thursday's game. So more lines are obviously going to come out. And again, jump in the Gilded, jump in the Discord to find out what we're actually going to play. But their lines today, they've only got 3 player props out right now for DJ Moore, Darnell Mooney,
and
Cole Kmet.
Over.
And that's Cole Kmet had 7 receptions and 2 touchdowns.
Oh, honestly. Hell yeah. No, hell no. That's not happening ever again.
No. I know that, but his line's at 3.5 receptions, which is plus money.
Love it.
Yeah. And Darnell Mooney's line's at like 2.5 because they were basically.
I like that too.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, because of the result, the books have kind of gone, oh, this Bears team are garbage.
They know. They know.
Yeah. But the line, like DJ Moore's prop is like 3.5 receptions.
See, but that's the thing though. He just had a good game.
Yeah.
And I know there is no way in hell Luke Getsy calls the same game that he just called for 3 quarters on Sunday because he doesn't know how. So I just don't. DJ Moore should smash 3.5 receptions. He should every single week. That shouldn't even be a thing. But for me to tell people to put money on it would be irresponsible of me. For the record, I have DJ Moore twice in fantasy, guys. I'm not going to bench him because I almost can't. But if I could, I probably would. But you also have to remember you're gonna think about garbage time. If that defense mauls us how I would expect them to, Washington to be up, which they'll have to pass their way out. I like all of those reception lines for sure. But as far as like actually getting points, that's a different thing. And yardage, with as many screens as they run, DJ Moore could get 3 catches off screens and 6 yards. So I would definitely, for right now, I might be speaking out of anger. It's going to be Commanders money line, Cole Kmet over 4 receptions, and the Chicago Bears team under. That would be my best way to go.
And the come on, tell me that they don't. Yeah, and the Justin Fields interception when they release the line at minus 500.
Yeah, I was going to say you're going to have to go 1.5 for that one, which probably won't happen. But I love Jahan Dotson. That'll be my answer to this one. I love Jahan Dotson against that defense. Tyreek Stevenson has been one of the few bright spots. Chicago, seeing it Sunday, Chicago might have the worst Tampa 2 I've ever seen ever. I don't know how big of a difference I won't get into details. It's a bad cover 2. It's a very bad cover 2 scheme. They don't know where they're supposed to be. They're not switching. I love Jahan Dotson in the gaps. And without Jalen Johnson, without Eddie Jackson, Tyreek Stevenson's probably going to follow Terry McLaurin. I really like Jahan Dotson this week to have a big game.
Plus 215 anytime touchdown on DraftKings, which
Love
is
it.
Much better value than it is on FanDuel. On FanDuel, it's only plus 175.
Yeah, get ahead of that. I love that. And then Brian Robinson is gonna. Yeah, he's almost automatic this week. That that rush defense is horrid.
Yeah, minus 115. So
yeah, and he's probably his rushing line's probably only around 48, 50, something like that. I'd smash that too.
63.5.
Yeah, he's playing the Bears. I should have knew better. Yeah, I still like it. I still like 64. Hey, I'm a fan. I know what I'm getting. I know what I signed up for.
All right. So what are you feeling for the weekend?
We got some lopsided matchups compared to what we've seen, at least for how the season started. Some of these teams are playing really well that we didn't really expect. Shout out to Houston. I'm hoping that Carolina continues to be awful. But this weekend I really like Houston because they gave them the underdog. It's only 2 points, so you know how I feel. You know how I feel about those. It's almost a waste. It's almost a waste to do the 2 points and not just the money line. But I don't see why they would be underdogs after we've seen them at least play very sound, and they're playing the Atlanta Falcons, who can't put an offensive drive together to save their lives right now. I don't know if that London trip really did drain them that much, or if Ritter just is not going to see it all season. But what CJ Stroud's doing right now and against a defense like Atlanta, I really like that underdog line. Miami minus 11. Like I said, Mike McDaniels might try to hang 70 again just to do it. I love that. They're obviously facing the Giants, who, as everyone in America saw on Monday Night Football, that's gonna explode any day now. The Ravens play the Steelers. It's a rivalry every other year. This year, probably not so much. Kenny Pickett has worst QBR in the NFL. He's not seeing the field well. He's not getting rid of the ball well, and their run game is just it's non-existent. And Baltimore is only minus 3.5. I think they win by more than a field goal, so I like that. And then the Patriots. I know this is going to probably be the one that people think I'm a little crazy on. The Patriots play the Saints. As of right now, I know Alvin Kamara is back. I think he's the only guy I've ever seen get 13 catches and not any yardage. That was I wish I could have saw it, like actually saw it, before having to go through like the all 22 and whatnot. But Mac Jones, he catches a lot of heat. He played absolutely horrendous against a very, very good defense. And once you get out, in that big of a lead, you're going to make a lot more mistakes just trying to chase big plays. I don't think that Saints team can stick with a team as sound as New England, especially on defense. Like, you got to remember, man, they gave up 24 points to Dallas. 2 of those were defensive touchdowns, so they gave up 24. And they were down and on the field for 3/4 of the game. They were probably exhausted. I like New England. I like New England minus 1.5. I like them to win this game, to bounce back. Bill Belichick's actually, I think he's going for his 300th win in the regular season. I really like their chances against that Saints team that gave up a fourth quarter comeback to Jordan Love. They haven't scored many points.
They just gave up 26 points and 250 yards to Baker Mayfield.
Exactly.
And, hey, I like Baker, but
we're realists.
Yeah, like that defense, that New Orleans.
You lost to Jordan Love, bro. You lose to Jordan Love, you're as bad as the Bears. Like, let's keep it real. I just said Washington is going to win. If I got to say Washington is going to win, I don't think if you're you got to be honest. So I just don't see the Saints putting them. It'll be a low-scoring game. I do expect it to be a low-scoring game. I might even flirt with that under, depending on, but it's probably only going to be like 38.5 by the time Sunday comes around. So, I like New England minus 1.5. That'd be my fourth leg. They're all minus 1. They're all minus 110. So you're at like plus 550 or something like that. Whatever those 4 are paired together. With how last weekend went, I might actually go all of them straight.
Yeah.
But you'll have to jump into the Discord to figure that one out.
Yeah, I mean, one of mine is kind of similar to yours. Like, I always, and I've said this before, I always get nervous with the big covers, like the big lines, like the Miami -11. Now they're playing the Giants, so like pretty.
Yeah.
But I'd rather take what I would believe to be safer Miami team total over 30.5 for the same price, because they're gonna, if they're gonna win by 11, they're gonna score 30 points.
Yeah, for sure.
So that one, and then Detroit versus Carolina over 45 points.
Really?
I just like the Lions offense at home in Detroit to score probably, most of those. They put up 30 points as well, and Carolina, like the risk is on them to score 15.
You see they're going for a receiver one now? I know a guy. You can come take both him. You can come get DJ Moore back and take Chase Claypool for free. We'll send him as a pair.
But then the other one that I kind of, we talked about this at the start, like the early morning game, the London game, Jacksonville against the Bills. I don't mind Jacksonville plus 5.5. Now you questioned that, like, and I have a question mark over it because Jacksonville, they've not been playing the level that we expected from them with the offense that they've got. But they've been in London a week. They played in London last week, and jet lag's a real thing.
Yeah.
So the Bills have traveled over, and the Jags have been there a week. They've already played there. They've got the home team advantage in what is considered a road game for them. It's supposed to be a home game for the Bills, but I feel like Jacksonville have home team advantage, and therefore 5.5 points. Hey, like, it's the Bills. Josh Allen just went and what he did to Miami last weekend. Like, it could be anything, but that's one that I'm kind of looking at. Again, a 9 a.m. start, 9:30 a.m. start. Just, it's a different thing for the Bills guys to get up for that game.
Yeah.
And like I said, the Jags have been there, like they're used to it, like they'll be ready for it. So that was just my thought behind why I would maybe look at Jacksonville as the underdogs in that game.
You did kind of sway me. You did kind of sway me a little bit when I thought about the fact that by the time they play, Jacksonville have been out there for about 11 days.
Mm-hmm.
That's enough time to have, I know they got some girls, they got some clubs out there to have some fun for the week and, loosen up, get back right. And they do have the team to be able to do it. 5 points is a little shaky, but at the same time, I'm going to look at the Jacksonville team total for sure, but also with Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs both going off last Sunday, that just tells me that he's due for 3 interceptions. So,
yeah.
I mean, I like it. I do like it. The travel is very, very big. We do that, I do that with baseball too, is where it's like, where are these guys? They're traveling across the country in a day. They're playing tomorrow. So it is big. It's real. So you definitely did sway me on that. I do like that.
And that's it, guys. That's everything that we've got for this week. Like I said, if you want to, some other plays, jump into the Discord. Find us on Twitter at PW_housemoney. Hit us up. Ask us to join the Toilets to Titles Gilded chat. Whatever you're playing this week, if you're tailing some of Pru's college football bets, let us know. If there's anything in there you are fading, let us know that too. We're not out here saying that we are the best at this. Like, hey, like if you think something else is going to happen in one of these games, let us know. If you think the Bears are going to pull off the win tonight and shock the world, then let us know that, and DJ will tell you that you're wrong. As much as he would love you to be right. But yeah, whatever it is you're betting tonight over the weekend, let us know. And yeah, good luck with whatever that is you're betting on this weekend. And we'll see you next Thursday playing with more house money.